How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. It's Trent Sanderson. You're on the Living Realm Network. Thank you so much for your attention in this very moment of learning and cultivating ourselves and making ourselves better. So, with that being said, what do we always say? Divine powers are always working for us because we're trying to do the right thing. Thank you. And so, what we want to talk about in this video is very simple. Yet, it could be a dynamic thing and have a very big impact on your life if you see it as something that you could use to grow your business, yourself, your relationships, your friendships, or whatever it may be. So this is the long-term benefits and effects of consistency. Um, Consistency is something that we all have a hard time trying to do. You know, we get tied up in life and we go through life kind of forgetting those very things that needs to be done in the moment. Now, I'm gonna give you some tips and some pointers on how to be consistent all the time. Even yet, I'm even working on this as we continue to, grow as a person. Even I'm working on this. Is what I'm saying. But you have to relate back to your intuition. Your intuition is something that God put in each and every last one of us to help us make right decisions, make split-second decisions, make decisions that will benefit our future. Tells us things about things we do not know about. It literally is our life force, our living life force that's always working for us, our intuition. Even when we're unconscious of it, it's working for us. But you have to remain conscious. You have to always be aware that you are a species, but you have another thinking species that is a part of you called your brain, your mind, your intuition, your imagination. And so you have to become attentive to your thoughts. You have to recognize what it is that you're thinking and what your mind is telling you, in that moment. For whatever you may be doing, it can have great effects on your life. There are a lot of athletes who use their intuition and their those gut feelings to really do the things that they do, and a lot of people wonder how they do the things they do. Um, so do a lot of business people. A lot of prominent business people do the same thing, and a lot of people wonder, man, how is it that they're able to close such big business deals and be successful with it? Well, some people have just simply mastered this, what I'm about to tell you, their intuition. They've mastered it, and they are reaping the benefits and long-term effects of being consistent with understanding how it is that their intuition works. So for the past couple of days, I've been noticing my intuition more often just to produce this here video. And so one thing I've noticed is that it does work. Mine is still working. I found out that it was working better than I thought it was when I was more aware of it working. And I began to act on certain insights that I was getting from my own mind. The same way with you. You will begin to notice insights, in your mind when you are looking for it, and it usually does not work when it usually does not work when you want it to work. It's always working when you don't want it to work. Like, for instance, if you're in the grocery store and you're buying groceries and you have no thought about anything other than groceries, but a thought comes into your mind that you must pay a certain bill today. It's not due maybe to next week, but something tells you since you got the extra money on you, pay that bill today. But an inconsistent person who's not using their intuition would simply ignore that and say, hey, I'm gonna pay it next week. Even though it's not due next week, I'm gonna pay it next week. When really your intuition was telling you you need to do it. You need to do it today. You need to do it now while you have the money, because something in the future is going to happen to where you do not have the time to, you can't pay it, at that time, because something in your finances is going to be off. Basically it's talking to you and telling you what is going to happen ahead of time, but it's not telling you actually what's going to happen. Your intuition is just telling you to get it done now because you don't know the future. Only things that know the future is your soul, your spirit, but you have to be in tune with that in order to hear it. Okay. And so long-term effects of consistency. Um, Many times we're down and out, and we kind of want to blame everything around us for not being able to get things done. But you will learn that the hard way when you start to figure out nothing else around you is going to get it done for you. So, blood, sweat, and tears. You can cry all you want in a corner, facing the wall or whatever. It don't matter. Like, nothing is gonna do nothing for you. Every once in a while, somebody's gonna feel sorry for you and try to help you get something done. But when you need it most, no one is really gonna be there to help you. And what you have to do is change that victim mentality into a victor mentality. Um, Again, that was me at once upon a time back in the day. I felt like the victim because I felt like you know if people see me feeling sorry for myself, they will feel sorry for me and help me. But that didn't help me at all. It only set me back, as far as where I have become and in growing. That's the only thing it's gonna do. It's gonna hinder your growth process. So that moment, the moment you start to feel down and out about anything it is that you're trying to do, is the moment that you need to be doing it. Because you're gonna get greater relief from getting it done versus you not doing it at all and sitting around and feel sorry for yourself. You get a better feeling, you get more joy, you get more happiness out of completing the project and getting the task done than you do sitting around crying about it and sitting around talking about it. You have to be a more consistent person. No one hates an inconsistent person. Men hate inconsistent women. Women should hate inconsistent men, and so forth. No one likes to be around an inconsistent person. When you're inconsistent at work, everybody look at you and mumble under their breath about you without you knowing, because they already see how your work ethic is, and they say this person needs to be more consistent because they're really slowing us down here. When you're not consistent, you mess up the whole system. And that's the same thing with the system and the principles that you have placed in your life. If you're inconsistent about the things it is that you want to accomplish, your goals, your dreams, hopes, and aspirations, you will, yourself will tell you, we don't like this. We don't really approve of you being so inconsistent, and you will feel bad, and you will think that you're feeling bad because no one is for you. No one is out to help you or see your good things that you do and give you any big breaks. No, yourself is saying you need to get to work. You need to get to work. It's just like water. If you're a person who is a health conscious person and you want to drink water because you know that water is made up of 7% of your body, and what do you do? What do? You buy more bottles of water and you continue to drink water, 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 water. You don't sit around and just say, hey, I want to get healthy and I want to start drinking water more and more and more. But when someone looks at you, it's not a bottle of water in sight. You have to be consistent in all things that you do. Be consistent in carrying out your goals and your tasks and stuff like that. Getting your homework done. Be consistent in arriving at work. Be consistent in your work ethic at work. Be consistent in your business response time to your viewers or your clients. People love someone that sticks up to their word. If you're standing up to your word, that's consistency. You're showing the world around you and people around you that you are the person for the job. You are the person that they can lean on, that they can count on, that they can run to, that they can go to, a person who they can depend on. No, you don't want to depend on anybody, but it'd be okay if somebody depend on you because that brings you revenue. That brings you higher wages, that brings you reputation, that brings you prestige, that brings you feeling of joy, that brings you energy. When people have to depend on you, believe it or not, even though you don't want to, help them and stuff like that, it's still, you're still winning because you have somebody that's eating off of you. You have somebody that's depending on you. You have somebody that's, hope they're not using you, but using you for your goods, your services, and your resources. Believe it or not, there's an energy transaction going on there. That person is boosting your energy, and you should be feeling good about it. You should feel wonderful that you're helping somebody, and that somebody is depending on you. You know, eventually over time, don't ever depend on anybody. You should not be dependent on anybody. You should always be trying to do your own thing and go your own way. For people out there who are like to depend on people, that will get you in a lot of trouble with that person. I'm not going to get into depth and detail of how, but if you continue to depend on someone, you're going to burn a bridge with that person. Long-term benefits and effects of consistency. Remain consistent in all that you do. Do not lack. Only time you should lack or not be doing anything is when your body tells you, hey, enough is enough. Or your mind tells you, your intuition speaks, and you hear it and it says, enough is enough. You've done all you can. Now, let the universe, the creation of God, do what it can do. Do what it's supposed to do. Let it work now. You go do something else. You go to the next thing and activity that you normally do. That's how you be consistent. And then you turn around the next day and you do it all over again. You can enter a lot of different commands into the computer. Your computer is your body. You can enter a lot of different commands in the computer, and it does a lot of things for you if you habitually do it over and over again. You know, you have to be consistent in the habits that you are putting into your life by committing them over and over again, so that it could be into, you know, it could be in your life the way that you want it to. So that's a very powerful thing to do, guys. I can't stress it anymore. I think enough is enough. And I thank you for watching this video. I'm Trenton Sanderson on the infamous Living Rim Network. Divine powers are always working for us because we're trying to do the right thing. Peace. Blessings.